If you haven't completed transcription assignment number 7, that's the theme from Schoenberg's Serenade, please do not continue watching this. Go finish that assignment first, and then come back to this video. For singing assignment number 4, we will perform various transformations or variations of the theme you have already transcribed. This video covers the first 5 measures of Schoenberg's theme. I'd like to start by drawing your attention to the opening 3-note gesture. The clarinet begins on a low B flat, goes down a half step, and then skips up a major third. That major third is a total of 4 half steps. Remember that in integer notation, this diminished fourth A to D flat is perfectly equivalent to a major third. They're both 4 half steps. So as you can see here, Schoenberg litters these 5 measures with both half steps and major thirds. And just as a major third and a diminished fourth are inharmonically equivalent, we should also find equivalence in intervallic inversions. The largest leap of this melody is a major seventh. That's the 11 half steps there in measure 4. The inversion of a major seventh is a minor second, a half step. Every other consecutive pair of notes in these 5 measures is going to be less than a perfect fifth, less than 7 half steps. Okay, let's look at the opening 3-note motive compositely. So the half step is nestled up tight to one of the pitches of the larger framing interval, the major third. So we have this major third in a half step tied up against it. The half step is just above the lowest note of the major third. Let's look again at all of the major thirds scattered throughout this piece. That's the distance of 4 half steps, remember. Are there any half steps nearby these major thirds? Well, notice the half step in measure 2. It's adjacent to the previous major third skip. Now the relationship between A, D flat, and C is related in some way to the opening motive B flat, A, D flat. The half step in measure 2 also immediately precedes the major third from C to A flat. The half step major third relationship here is different though. In the previous 2 examples, the major third serves as a boundary interval, meaning the half step falls inside the range of that major third. But in measure 2, the composite interval becomes a perfect fourth or 5 half steps. Following this, the A flat to D into measure 3, it begins to increase the size of these melodic leaps. We go from a major third to that perfect fourth, to a tritone, to that major seventh. The intervals are expanding. Now from measures 3 and 4, we have a half step followed by a minor third, so D, E flat, F sharp. We have a half step falling inside the boundary interval of a major third. In measure 4, since that F sharp to G is being inverted into a half step for now, the E flat, F sharp, G also matches our motivic construction. Both of the major thirds in measure 5, being adjacent to correctly oriented half steps, corresponds with our model. So now we have 6 trichords with similar composite construction. Of these 6 composite groupings, 4 of them also share similarities in melodic ordering. By analyzing the original melodic ordering as being down 1 and up 4 half steps, we can take this and derive and catalog other common orderings from this one. So the initial 3-note motive, being the first statement, is called prime form. What if instead of down 1 and up 4, we invert each interval by going up 1 and down 4? Well, we reach a related but new version of our 3-note motive, appropriately called the inversion. So prime is our original version, and the inversion flips the up and down directions. There's another common derivative called retrograde, which means we walk backward through the melody. If you have a retro sense of fashion, for example, you're trying to bring back clothing styles from the past. In the retrograde form of this motive, instead of the prime forms going down 1 and up 4, we begin by going down 4 and then go up 1. Now the final version for our inventory is the retrograde of the inversion. So inversion keeps the same intervallic distance but flips the up and down directions. So again, the inversion goes up 1 and down 4. So the retrograde of the inversion goes up 4 and down 1. Let's use our movable integer system to label these 4 forms. In this example, all of our major thirds are going to take on the 0-4 label, with 0 being the lowest pitch of the major third. So for prime form, we assign 0 and 4 to the major third. Well, how does the half step interact with the major third? Well, it's preceding the lower 0. So it becomes 1, 0, 4. Well, what about the inversion? Well, the major third now descends. That's 4 to 0. And the half step precedes the 4. 3, 4, 0. Okay, retrograde begins with a descending major third as well. That's 4, 0. Followed by the rising half step, 4, 0, 1. The retrograde of the inversion goes backward through the inversion. So that, of course, is going to be 0, 4, 3. Okay, let's apply these names and numbers to the trichords in our melody. So the first one is our prime form, 1, 0, 4. 1, 0, 4. The second motive goes up 4 and then down 1. 0, 4, 3. Well, this is retrograde inversion. 0, 4, 3. Our third goes up 1 and then up 3. Well, this is unlike any of the shapes in our motivic directory, so we'll have to come back to this one. What about number 4? We go up 3 and then up 1 more. Well, this is a lot like number 3, and we'll have to come back to both of these in a moment. Let's go to number 5. We go up 1 and down 4. Well, this is the inversion, right? 3, 4. And finally, number 6 goes up 4 and down 1. Well, this makes it the RI, retrograde inversion, 0, 4, 3. All right, I'm going to try to sing number 1 and 2, skip 3, 4, and then get 5 and 6. 1, 0, 4, 0, 4, 3. Then I'm going to skip to number 5. 3, 4, oh, oh, 4, 4, 3. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to numbers 3 and 4. We similarly need to label the major thirds as 0 and 4. So number 3, the D F sharp is 0 and 4, E flat is 1, 0, 1, 4. Number 4, similarly, will take on the label 0, 3, 4. Once this sound is in our ear, oh, 3, 4, we need to displace the last note of number 4 by an octave. Oh, 3, 4. By the way, what's the relationship between trichords numbers 3 and 4? If we assign number 3 as a prime form, what form is number 4? How does it relate back to it? How do we go from up 1, up 3 to up 3, up 1? Since both forms are rising the whole time, do you see that it can't be inversion or retrograde? If prime only goes up, both the inversion and the retrograde will only go down. But what if we retrograde the inversion? Yeah, that's the ticket. That'll do it. Okay, so to get from number 3 to number 4, that's the retrograde of the inversion. All right, so let's piece together all 6 of our 0, 1, 4 trichords. 1, 0, 4, 0, 4, 3, 0, 1, 4, 0, 3, 4, 3, 4, 0, 0, 4, 3. Okay, how do we highlight these trichords when singing this melody as notated? Well, first, we can merge the opening 2 trichords together, since they share the A and D flat, and they both have the numbers 0, 4. It makes it very easy. 1, 0, 4, 3. The A flat, though, at the end of measure 2, isn't part of any of our trichords, so what am I going to call it? Well, when in doubt a function, say of. Okay, trichords numbers 3 and 4 also need combining since they share the E flat and F sharp between them. But this is a lot more troublesome than the one in measures 1 and 2. They don't share the same numbers. So the trichord in measure 4, this is the one with the octave displacement. It was really useful for hearing the major 7th as an inversion of the half step, but now I'm going to just ignore it. So measures 3, 4, and 5 are now going to use 3 successive 0, 1, 4 trichords. Okay, let's slap on the rhythm and see how we do. 1, 0, 4, 3 of 0, 1, 4, 3, 4, 0, 4, 3. Now the melody that's found in these 5 measures, it institutes the prime form of our entire melody. So see if you can discover the other 3 forms of this 14-note melody: the inversion, the retrograde, and retrograde inversions. And for singing assignment number 4, you will sing all 4 forms of this melody. and we will cover the other three in another video. Thanks.